A very warm good afternoon to all the participants. I would like to mention a few of them because they have come and spared their valuable time. First is Mr. S. Jachuk, Chief General Manager, HRD, Durgapur Steel Plant. Mr. Mr. Saurabh Sinha, CGM HRD, Vilai Steel Plant. Mr. Dinesh Chaudhary, GM HR, Shyam Steel. Mr. Surinder Kumar from ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel. Mr. Vivek Adukia, President, West Bengal Steel Rolling Mills Association. Mr. T.K. Nath, Executive Director, West Bengal Steel Rolling Mill Association. And Mr. Shankarlal Agarwal, President, West Bengal Iron and Steel Manufacturers Association. I will also give a hearty welcome to Mr. Jan Eben from NSDC and our friends from NSDC, Basu Sharma and Mr. Pranil Jaiswal. Other all good friends who are there in the participants, I welcome you all to this webinar on specifically on apprenticeship. Now, Barsha in our welcome speech has already told you about some of the advantages, major advantages and good points and benefits out of the new scheme, that is National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, and how it will facilitate more and more apprentices to be taken by the large as well as the medium and small scale industries. Now, if we look at it to our various training program, I think apprenticeship is one program on which not much of efforts are being given. This is my personal feeling. But if you look at it, the effectiveness of the program, I think this is the best scheme where quality of training, experiential learning, and enhanced employability, the all three modes of our objective of good training program are all there embedded in apprenticeship training. Because here the candidate is exposed to not only putting his skills into practice, but he has got a long OJT before him where in the actual industrial environment, he is getting it practice and he is exposed to all the industrial practices, good practices, and what are the rules and regulations. Normally, these things are theoretically presented to him, but this is the first time that he is exposed and he is already working in an industry. So these are the two different pictures, basically, which make apprenticeship a very, very well knit out program. The Apprenticeship Act, Barsha also mentioned, actually it came long back. It came about 1961. And then 53 years have passed and it was thought that to revise and totally restructure the apprenticeship program. So only in 2014, all the amendments came where, this mandatory 2.5% to maximum 10% of the employees intake as apprentices. And then this program is also includes that if the candidate is not trained earlier or he is just a sort of 10 plus or 12 plus candidate, 12 pass candidate, and he has not undergone any formal training program, in the apprenticeship scheme, the industry has the option of arranging one basic training program for him. Now, if it is under NAPS, where the basic training program also up to 7,500, the government is subsidizing for 500 hours or for 3 months. That is the maximum subsidy that the government is giving for the basic training program which the candidate will undergo if he is not already trained or if he is lacking some of the skill which the industry wants him to do. And after he goes through this basic training program, I am talking of the NAPS, under NAPS, and the also enjoys and the industry enjoys the subsidy given by the government, and also, as Barsha has mentioned, 1500 rupees per month per candidate will get a subsidy from the government as per the stipulated his stipend that has been settled between himself and the industry. The candidate then, after he is trained or after he passes through this 3 months or 4 months training program, basic training program, then he will be undergoing this OJT, which is for a longer time duration. So that over a period of 6 to 24 months, if it is under the optional trade program, then the apprenticeship apprentices will be fully trained and he will then get a job offer from the industry. There are two kinds of trade on which the apprentices can be taken. One is the designated trade, that is the DGT is running, and for monitoring the designated trade, all of you, all the industry partners, all of you know that it is being monitored by 6 regional directorate of apprenticeship training, the RDAT, and the state apprenticeship advisors. In fact, this is the first time that the state government is also taking, because of the change in the pattern of skilling activity and development, the state government has a major role to play in not only in the basic training, not only in the RPL, but also in apprenticeship. And if the statistics is correct, these statistics are there, some data that already out of the 2.3 lakhs or 4 lakhs of the apprentices that are engaged in about more than 30,000 establishment, state government undertaking or state government department under the state government, they engage about 1.9 lakhs of apprentices, and only about 30,000 apprentices are there in the CPSU. So that way, the CPSU, which has got a much larger, about 50 million people are there working, I think CPSU will have a much larger scope in enhancing the apprenticeship program into their each industry. So the benefits that have already been told. Now, the another one point I want to mention, that in the optional trade, now the whole apprenticeship program is through portal. It is, everything is online. Now, in case under the NAPS, in case any industry or any establishment feels that there are some amount of documentation is there, somebody, one or two people has to be posted there to look after the stipend, etc. Now there is another scheme that the government has come out, and for which NSDC has already tried their level base to popularize, and this is called the third party aggregator. So third party agencies, and today we are very fortunate that we have with us Mr. Dhruv Mittal, EduVantage. Now this third party agency has a very significant role to play. They, first of all, the third party agency can take care of the basic training provider. They can help the candidate to undergo this training. They can help their evaluation. They can help their stipend, etc., facilitate their stipend, etc., and all the documentation that are required to be submitted to the government before this subsidy comes. Everything they will take care. And I think Mr. Dhruv will explain to us how they are going to do it. It's a very big service that they will be giving on a very nominal pay that the industry has to pay only after the whole thing is complete, after everything has been done and all the payments have been released by the government. So this is a win-win situation. So I would request, and in fact, our main purpose of holding this webinar is to enthuse the small, medium, and large industries so that they can come forward and take the help of the recent schemes that have come under NAPS and engage apprentice more and more, so that the productivity, at least at their plant level, also goes up to a large extent. So with these words, I'll not take much of your time. So thank you very much once again from my side for attending this very important webinar. And there will be very good takeaways when the webinar ends. I suppose that there will be very good discussion, deliberations, and any of you who have faced some problems, some difficulties, can already also share those difficulties, so that NSDC and others, everybody is here to offer you help. So there I end. Thank you very much. Dhruvo. We can't hear you, Dhruvo.
Is it okay, sir?
Yes, now it is okay.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving